some days, what I want more than anything is to be curled up on my couch with a murder mystery on TV, a glass of wine, a carton of cookies, swiping on a dating app, shopping, filling up my cart with shit I don't need. Oh, that that fantasy is there. And listen, I don't even drink anymore, but that fantasy, that urge to just disappear into something, anything, oh, that is still in me sometimes. That fantasy still hits. There's some part of me that when I am lonely or maxed out or stressed, I just want to escape. So why, when life is going pretty good, and I definitely know better, and I literally teach people about positive energy, why do I still feel that way? Will it always be a part of me? Am I flawed or up? What is it? All right, I got the answer. Spoiler alert, I'm human. And you probably are too. All right, so let's talk about it. Welcome to Practice Your Positive Daily, where we train our energy like an athlete. We talk the real tea about transformation, and we never hide from the tough conversations like this one. I am Sass Schaeffer, your host, keynote speaker, community builder, registered dietitian, former championship boxer, and definitely still a human with 37 things in my Amazon cart that I don't need. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about why we do this. You know that feeling, right? Let's just level set with that. I can't be the only one that wants to disappear into scrolling, booze, food, dating, whatever when I feel stressed out. I got 3 points for you. Number one, it's not about willpower. It's about regulation. Regulation, like Warren G, regulate. That moment that you open the fridge for like the 5th time, that's not hunger. You know that, I know that. Let's just call it that. But that's not hunger. That's your nervous system trying to downshift, right? It's not weakness. You're trying to feel something different. You're trying to feel relief, maybe, or comfort, or you're trying to tamp down or numb maybe some intense feelings that you're having. And the part of you that used to reach maybe for wine or sex or shopping, that part doesn't vanish. It just gets moved into new activities. It's still trying to find ways to keep you safe. You ever know somebody who stops drinking? Me too, right? You stop drinking and then suddenly you're eating a ton of candy, or you pick up another habit, right? We stop smoking and we start scrolling, we do something else. It's not the willpower. It's that deep need inside of us that needs to regulate. Just trying to find ways to keep you safe. Even though they're not adaptive, it's just trying to keep you safe. And so start with some compassion for that part of you. You are not that bloated body on the couch scrolling and, vanishing, right? You are the person watching it, right? There's that little bit of distance. When you have that little bit of distance, you can see that person, that human there, and have compassion for them. Notice it with love and try again tomorrow. But point number one, it's not willpower, it's regulation that doesn't have a safe outlet. Okay, point number two, it's possible that the urge will never go away, but it doesn't always have to win. And so that first question, will it ever go away? Gee, I don't know. It's a lot less intense than it used to be, right? I stopped drinking. I stopped, I consciously don't date. I live a pretty clean life, but that urge is still there, but it is not as intense. Like with any other addiction or any other draw or pull, it weakens over time. And so the goal is not perfection, is not being strict and tight with yourself and saying, well, we're not doing this and no more this and throw everything away and beat yourself up and shame yourself. No, we don't do any of that. None of that is going to help you practice your positive. And I do it too, girl. I only say these things because that's me. When I mess up and I'm like, oh, Sarah, you know better, and jump on myself. But no, that's not the answer. It is the awareness and the choice. Having just that moment, even just a moment of space. We talk a lot about, right, the stimuli and the response. If there can just be a moment, a gap between you being like, God, I really want a drink, or oh, I could really eat it like 4 donuts, right? Or whatever it is that's your thing, that what you want to do. And then just that moment before it happens, if you can break that, if you can recognize that and put just a sliver of daylight between that gut feeling, that stimulus, that need, and choosing something different, even if you, and you know what, even if you do, even if you're like, I realize I'm just doing this because I'm hungry, angry, lonely, tired, and I do it anyway. Just being aware of it is enough to add that sliver of daylight that will strengthen the muscle. So again, just like positivity, it's a practice, it's a muscle that we have to build through repetitions, right? Even if you're into the whole pack of Oreos, I can tell I'm a sugar person. So even if you've done those things, right, that little bit of awareness, it counts. It builds the muscle. Every time that you recognize it, whether or not you act on it, you recognize it, you're building that muscle and telling yourself, no, it doesn't have to win. I can make a choice here. Okay, so if it doesn't go away and it can only get weaker, like what do? How do we make it weaker? This is it. This is what we do. We recognize that transmutation is the holy work of healing. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? It means that if you feel the feeling and acknowledge it, it might only last 90 seconds, right? They've done research that says if we really feel that feeling, so if you were, let's do a real time example. So it's 7, 8 o'clock. Okay, let's be real. It's 10 o'clock at night. I've had a long, stressful day. I'm trying to work on my business. I'm doing the mom thing. I'm taking care of myself, right? And I need comfort. And so I go to reach for whatever junk I might have in the house. If instead of burying myself in a sugary snack, if instead I say, hey, Sass, I see you reaching for the Oreos. How are you feeling? What do you need? Oh, it's been a long day. Are you so tired? Oh, I bet you're exhausted, babe. And I talk lovingly and kindly to myself through that feeling. I feel lonely. I miss the company of a close person, of an intimate partner. I feel tired. I feel frustrated. I feel exhausted. I feel angry. If you can sit with that feeling, it will only last for about a minute and a half, like 90 seconds. It doesn't last that long, but you know what lasts a lot longer? When I ignore that feeling and I eat 17 Oreos and 2 burritos, I'm making this stuff up, right? But if I do all that, that feeling lasts a lot longer. And then I also have to deal with the consequences of those choices, right? Then I go to bed full. Then I have heartburn. I feel worse the next morning, whatever the thing is, right? You drink too much, you feel worse, you have a hangover, you know, you have sex with someone that you're not into, it's not a good energy exchange, whatever, right? That feeling, if we drag it out, it's going to last a lot longer. And so the transmutation is understanding that, asking yourself, what do I need? What do I really need right now? Accepting it and listening to it without belittling it or ignoring it or shaming it or criticizing it, and transmuting it into something else. That's how we do it. That's how we weaken the tie. What I suggest to work through that is, as you feel the feeling, ask yourself all those questions that I just said. How am I feeling? What do I need? Talking to yourself lovingly and compassionately. If you have a problem with that, if that's really hard, we could do a whole separate video on kind of self-talk. But talking to yourself, and then a pattern interrupter. Last episode, I talked about pattern interrupters as like humor and when you're out with other people, but they are also great with yourself when you're feeling this pull. And so at 10 o'clock at night, when I'm exhausted and tired and frustrated and lonely, and I don't choose the Oreo, what could I do instead? I could do 10 squats. I could jump in the cold shower. I could text a friend. I could put on a song that I know I'm going to dance to, or make myself dance to, right? I can do something that helps me snap out of it, right? Move that energy. That is the transmutation, right? Turning it into something, acknowledging it's there. And I would just love to close with, you know, I purposely say out loud to myself, like, I forgive myself for needing comfort. I accept that I need comfort. That is okay. And I'm learning new ways to meet those needs. And that's progress, Sasser. That's real good. And I'm real proud of you. All right. So, positive of the day, because, you know, I like to give you an assignment. All right, positive of the day. I like to give you an assignment. I know I'm all loosey-goosey now that we're out here at the park. I feel like we're just hanging out. And when I do it in the studio, I feel like it's a lot more structured. But here we're just like, oh, we're hanging out at the park. So, positive of the day, it is get curious. Give yourself that pause and get curious. The next time you find yourself reaching for another snack, another scroll, another shopping cart, swiping on an app, pause. Pause and ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Connection, comfort, caring. It's not shame, just data. We talked a long time ago, you got to track it to hack it. If you don't know what's going on, how can you address it, right? It's data. So ask yourself, what do I need? Listen, it's not just about stopping the behavior, it's seeing it. It's seeing it and seeing yourself and acknowledging that you have needs and then taking a step to meet them. You can do this. Remember, you are not the bloated body on the couch scrolling and drinking and snacking and avoiding. You are not the glazed out person on your phone. You are the person watching it with a little bit of distance and with a whole lot of love. So the next time you feel the need to spiral or scroll or snack your way through a night that you wish you hadn't, don't collapse into shame. Just notice and practice again, because you don't have to fight your shadow forever. You just have to walk her home. And that's exactly what we're doing here. And if this hit home with you, share it with a friend who also was wondering what the hell is going on with what I'm doing. We all ask ourselves that sometimes. I also have the 7-day positivity boot camp that's available. I'll drop the link below. 7 days, jumpstart your positivity. Let me be your positivity trainer. I would love to respectfully kick your butt into positive gear. All right. Mwah. Until next time, as always, keep practicing your positive. I love you, and I will see you at practice.